CDL.
And all the fans and people are seeing what he can do. So as long as he just keeps that pumping, I mean, he's the top player in the game, without a doubt. He's one of the best players in the game.
Before he goes on the B zone, this could be matchup. Huke running on Huke's top line. You can see him is wriggling his way through the spawn there with Mutineers. Again, through the boys. This is from C1 Hill. Dollar's there and he catches the flanker inside. That's exactly what Slasher is doing. He's going to win still. Los Angeles Guerrillas. Guess who's holding back line? He's
talking to me, tell them pipe down. Or it's lights out. Zeros on the debit, baby, all I do is swipe now. Gucci sweater 5,000. Stunning, buzzing. I be going up, no ceiling. Wow, falling, running. Getting to the paper, I'm peeling out. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. They gon' know me as legendary. You in the stands, I ain't need no commentary. Ain't no option, ain't no secondary. I just throw it out like a Hail Mary.
Welcome back to the CDL Week 2 and Day 1. And on this desk, I'm going to be your host. My name is aBeZy, rocking the mic with Nameless and also aLLeY. But from one great series into hopefully another, we're going to see LAG take on Toronto Ultra, a team that had a hard loss last time they were on screen. It was a 2-3 loss against none other than Seattle Surge, right? But with a chip on their shoulder, they might come back with a fury this time around. Nameless, looking at the Røkkr, man, they got to be furious, and I'm scared for them this series.
Oh, look at Toronto. I mean, I think they're going to come back even stronger. They lost the Game 5, and they lost it by losing 2 Search and Destroys in that series as well. And this is a team that is traditionally unbelievable at Search and Destroy, so I expect them to bounce back even stronger. Looking at the statistics from that series, a player that we know has another level to get to is Cammy. We haven't really seen it this far in this game, so I'm expecting him to get back to superstardom soon. But for the game fuel keys to victory for the Toronto Ultra, keep showcasing world-class teamwork and respawn. They're first in non-traded death percentage, so they're staying alive after their kills. That's huge. And then also turn around the slow start to the year in Search and Destroy. I kind of just touched on that, losing 2 Search and Destroys to a brand spanking new team like Seattle Surge. Yeah. Not acceptable if you're the Toronto Ultra, who have been around for a bit, so they're definitely going to come back stronger there. They're 8th in round win percentage. That's got to be a lot better. Take advantage of control mastery, 3-1, winning 59% of rounds. I mean, I attribute a lot of that to CleanX and Bance, getting up close and personal, being a nuisance, being annoying. It's very frustrating for the opposition. And in this series, those are the 2 guys I'm looking at to shut down players like aBeZy and Huke, the playmakers on the side of LAG. And Toronto Ultra, if they do that, they should be able to secure the W.
Toronto's going to have to be an ultra annoying team to face off against the Los Angeles Guerrillas because, aLLeY, last time they were on screen, it was like a redemption tour, right? It was a revenge tour. A team tore the New York Subliners apart. And LAG, after that facelift, the storyline that we've been diving into nonstop heading into this season, they finally had a big victory.
And you know what? It was also Huke. You know, in that opening hard point on Berlin versus New York, he went 30-19 at 1 point. So if you have both of your subs shooting like they did last series coming into this, I believe their chances of getting on top of Toronto early are much higher. They went 4-0 in hard point. This is a very slay-heavy team. I'm going to be looking at aBeZy to continue his streak from our last series against New York to match up against a player like CleanX, whose reaction speeds are literally unreal. So they got to find a way to break Toronto's setups on hard point. Ultra's holding 89% of the hills where they win rotation. That is first of our 12 teams. That is an insane stat line. That's going to be on LAG's shoulders to possibly either just out-rotate them and make sure you win their gunfights on rotation, or work on waiting for each other and waiting for the trades to get into these close hard points and trade slate first blood success to round wins and Search and Destroy. First and first blood percentage, that is 67% versus 10th in the round win percentage. So they get the first bloods, but they're really struggling to close it out.
LAG is going to have to strike first if they want to beat the likes of Toronto Ultra, right? A team that's so great when it comes to chemistry and teamwork. Nameless, if you were to make a prediction right now, if you're going to be a betting man, who are you going to put a stack on to win this matchup? Are you rocking with the boys from LA? Or are you going to think that, you know, the Europeans in Toronto are going to tear it up?
I mean, if I'm betting, man, I'm putting a stack on Toronto all day. I mean, I think Toronto's going to take it. I love this team. I think that their communication combination is the best in the world. I think that they have fantastic teamwork in game.
Okay.
They have a great roster. I think they take it 3-1.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see the Toronto Ultra take on a team that is trying to get on some type of winning streak. The Los Angeles Guerrillas and Lando and Standy. It's been a while. How you guys feeling today?
Oh, we're feeling good, Val. We're feeling good. Like I said, it's a new week of CDL action. It's going to be a great time. Jay, how about yourself, buddy? It's been a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, you know, I enjoyed the weekend. I mean, the week off, a couple of days that we had, but I was so excited to get back into the Call of Duty. Man, I love Call of Duty. When I'm not playing it or watching it, I'm depressed. But now we are back. We have a great matchup here. We have Toronto Ultra going up against LAG. One side, Toronto, trying to get their very first win of the entire season, losing 2 search and destroys to a brand new roster in Seattle. And then on the opposite side, LAG. They won 3-1 versus New York, but it could have been a 4-0 if they didn't choke that control. So this is going to be a great series between both of these teams.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And as we take a gander at our maps and modes, we are going to be seeing Bocage Hardpoint to start things off. It is straight 3 for 3 in Tuscan. If you have not seen this map, well, hey, you'll get very well versed on it, as we'll see it for Search, Destroy, Control, and Hardpoint. And then that final map is going to be a good old Berlin Search, Destroy if we can go the distance. But hey, Jay, we talked about a number of different things. I mean, what, man? After Kickoff Classic, you know, in terms of Toronto walking away with the victory, everybody thinking, hey, this is the #1 team in the game. A lot of people having LAG at the bottom of the ranks, so that just goes to show how solid opening weekend was for this Guerrillas team, for people to think there could be some potential. But talk to me, my friend. How important do you feel this opening hardpoint is for a team like LAG?
This opening hardpoint is everything to how the series is going to go, because we saw it in those game field keys to victory. They are 4-0 ever since kickoff weekend. So as long as they can keep up that pressure and starting off hot, because on the opposite side for Ultra, they're starting off slow a majority of their series. They cannot go out and win that first hardpoint. So it's all about winning this first map if you're LAG to make that series go to distance.
I mean, you and I looked at the stat. It's kind of wild, right? For the Toronto Ultras, Cammy takes down 2. It's like, you know, they're not starting off well in the opening hardpoint. They get better in the Search Destroy. They're looking great in the controls, and then they're undefeated in Game 4 hardpoint.
Yeah.
Like I said, it really is a matter of this Toronto team. As the series progresses, that's when really they can start to heat up. But oftentimes, right, when we talk about upset potential, it is in these early games, which is exactly what the Guerrillas are looking to try and do. The first hill is done and dusted, only 12 points on the board, and it's Toronto walking away with the majority of those seconds. But now as we head toward P2, it's LAG with spawns.
And both of these teams have great players on both sides, but both of these guys, the players that I'm looking for to step up has to be the SMGs on both sides. We saw what LG were able to do last week when aSim had a 1.4 and Huke had a 1.0, but like Ali said on the desk, he had that first map, he was 30 and 19. So both of their SMGs were really just stepping up. And when you're going up against probably the best teamwork-oriented team that we have in the Ultra, Cammy and CleanX and Bance need to step up early into this series.
Yeah, and really take advantage, right, the SMGs of a Toronto team, which somewhat untypical, not great on Bocage so far throughout the year, my friend. Like I said, they sit right now at 0-2. We'll see if LAG can start things off nice and early, as CleanX right on cue, starting things off at 6-4. Now on the 3 spree as the Ultra look to try and commence the rotation. It's 2 players inside of the spawn. It is CleanX doing all the damage necessary to try and finalize that pinch. Great work from Toronto, and the streak will only continue. Toby is firing out of the gates.
And so far into this hard point, right there, LAG, they had the rotation for a P2, but Ultra, they did a great job of just not giving them a majority of that time. And now they win the rotations over to P3. Gunfights going back and forth, but this is the hill that LAG like to play a majority of this time. They get about 29 seconds every time they get towards this P3 hard point. This could potentially get them back into the game.
Yeah, which is kind of wild considering the way that this map likes to play, how scrappy this hill can be in particular. But the great stat nonetheless is LAG holding from the front. They'll eventually get dropped as aSim not wanting to let this one go without a fight. That's going to be 3 down for Toronto. Inside at least is able to grab 1 and try to even out the numbers. But that's right when Huke will look to try and strike on in. Back and forth we go. It's LAG with a slim lead as we will end things out inside of bottom grandma's. Rotation now going over toward barn once more, control from the Guerrillas.
Yeah, and this is going to be a great hole from the Guerrillas, at least off the rip, as Bance is trying to attack from the left side of middle map. It's going to be a clean 4 dead, so they have the spawns. They're keeping control of back barn. They're forcing all of Toronto Ultra to continuously spawn towards plat. Trades going back and forth, currently up by 15 points. are going to be LAG, but Ultra, they're able to break through. And this is also back-to-back kills where P3 was going to LAG, but P4 is where Ultra tend to shine a lot. They get about 31 seconds every time they get towards this hard point.
Yeah, a nice little streak there out of Insight. The sophomore putting up some great numbers throughout our first set of rotations as Cammy taking one down in close range. I know it's just one kill, but I tell you what, man, the kills in Vanguard that you can get, it is fixing to be a great year for some highlights. By the way, speaking of highlights, how great are these team jerseys, by the way, Jay? What, we got some cufflinks on these things. Players are looking that much more fresh inside of the lobbies. A lot of blood to be shed, but as Toronto gets taken down, as we said, those team jerseys are going to be making their way over toward the next hill, looking at that next rotation inside of water. This time, it's going to be Toronto there off the gates. aBeZy trying to make a play inside of bottom grandma's. He gets dropped. And we'll see what Ultra can do. As like we said, they've got a good position set up as LAG look to make their way around the back.
Yeah, I love these kits, man. Look good, play good. And so far, both of these teams are really stepping up on this map. Number one, as LAG are able to find 3 and flip those spawns with a clean 4 deads. So now 30 seconds remaining on this point. If you're LAG, you can take this lead, but you have to hold this push. You're going to be rotating towards P1 where a majority of these players are not going to be playing for any time. You just want to be sure that you're able to get a good chunk of this off of this P5.
Yeah, we'll see with 15 seconds. Again, slim leads without a doubt on a map like Bocage, but you'll take any advantages you can get as the lead has gone back and forth. Now, it'll be a change in favor of the Guerrillas with 8 seconds still fading over at that next hill. Keep in mind, Huke making the rotation. We talk about this guy quite often, gets a little dicey in the fight there versus Insight, Jay, but we talk about this guy in the series that we've casted. A major reason why LAG has that 4-0 hardpoint record.
100%, man. Like his pressure, his gun skill, his movement is just absurd, and especially if you're alongside having the slaying power coming in out of aBeZy.
Yeah.
He does find that 1 kill in towards bottom mid. 40 seconds are going to be remaining on this P1 hardpoint. Guerrillas still have the spawns towards back barn, but if you're Ultra, you're not going to be too mad about it because you were able to contest a good time of, even if you didn't have spawns from the front.
LAG, somewhat of a convincing start for them. And really, as we talked about, Toronto, not the greatest of performances so far on Bocage as they look to try and rewrite the script. But so far in the kill totals, take a look at Gunless's numbers. 23 and 15, now making 24 and 15. Pierce is off to an electric start. As we said, based off of the overall points in this game, you wouldn't know that, but he is putting on a clinic. The automaton, I mean, what Chance mentioned it in the last series, getting a little bit more shine here on Bocage. You're seeing both teams at some points rocking out 2 rather than the typical 1-3 setup. A lot of teams taking pages out of Atlanta FaZe's book, and for good reason. Gunless getting a lot of positives from that, as now it's aBeZy's turn to put it on a heater. Nearly finds 5 in a row. The hill continues to balance back and forward. It's LAG with the time for a second. Toronto able to jump on in, and as we said, Jay, it is the automatons that are doing a majority of the damage.
Yes, Toronto able to break in through the front. Insight finds 3 in the feed. Now the spawns do flip. LAG not going to be too mad about this as long as you're able to contest this from the front. But when CleanX pushes out towards Plat and Bance is finding 2 in the feed, this is going to keep on staggering this push. The spawns are still coming in from low trenches. But at 15 seconds left, if you are Toronto, you have to start thinking about the rotation. Pay attention to minimap on Bance. He's going to have a huge gunfight to go down versus aBeZy.
Huge fight going down inside of the back of the hill. Looks as if it's going to be Huke and Co who are able to win that rotation. Without a doubt, a back and forth game. Maybe one of the biggest leads that we've seen so far, and it's only just a matter of 20+ points. Let's step aside, though, and see how the comms are sounding with the LA Guerrillas.
Go top, I'm trying to pick it up.
Hey, But's not peeking. It could be.
Con got me, con me.
I can try to go.
Front, bro.
Yo, no one has top, no one has top.
Front, 2 of them, one's mid street on me.
I'll be back, Mitch.
Mid street on me.
Top.
Street dead.
Don't see him tools. Don't see him tools. Don't see tools.
Yo, top again, top again, in the back.
In the back.
Back top.
And comes back top.
I'd say down, nice. On the back, tell you.
Just get it top. Just get it top.
On top, 1 bullet, clean it.
I'm holding
He's in the
back left.
corner.
I want to see the guy back left peeking.
Back mid,
Come in, you guys are
bench,
close. Come in, you guys are close. Second bench.
Yo, mid. One's out mid, CleanX.
Let's see back window. I'm pitching time.
Nice.
Weak, back window.
Back window, one shot, back window, one shot.
Clock tower,
He's
20
up,
seconds. Top right.
There's two.
Cut off. Do you have rank up? I'm picking it up.
Up mid, Bance dead.
Nice one,
No,
nice
one.
one.
No, Bance truck dead.
Nice,
2.
we can hit this.
I'm nading the time. Cold stuff time.
Where? I don't know where, Kyler. I think he backed up.
Yo, A plat.
That's him.
Last guy.
Teammate plat. Final. The final. They give him right.
Nice one, big.
I'm getting time.
60, full 6 here. Fucking turn
Left is open.
Trying to pick up left, bro.
Tools. Another one tools on me.
Pick it up.
Weak, Cammy.
He's already
Going
close up,
tools.
P2.
He's gone.
He's on hill, dead.
P2 coming.
Good job too.
Donnie,
He's one shot. I got naded.
I'm trying to watch the back. I'm trying to watch
Watch
the
your big
back
door.
cross.
Watch your big door.
B2 tank Bance.
Yeah,
Nice
good job,
left
right.
again.
Deep right.
One guy could be.
No.
I'm trying to pick it up. I'm trying to pick it
that's
up.
all for it.
Yep,
That's all
low
for it.
left, inside
Inside, last
A5.
guy.
Holding right.
Last
Holding
guy.
right now. Right, Cammy.
I mean, overall, just a quick little peek behind the curtain in terms of the chaos that a map like bokash can provide. You hear the Guerrillas consistently discussing, talk about where players are going to be and how they look at this next hill to potentially be their key back into this game. And so far, Jay, it looks to be exactly the case. They've held every second so far here on Barn. Still, yet for anything to be contested, one less player is going to try to go for a challenge. He gets cut down, and so it appears it very well might be a full 60 over at Barn. LAG just like that, not only bring it back in the game, but now we're up by 20 points.
And that's great work from LAG. When we went into that listening, you can just tell this is a squad full of veterans. There's not too many comms going in, but every single comm is being just drilled into these other teammates' heads because they're so simple. And that's what allowed them to set up properly for that P4 and take this lead. As you see Bance hit him with the two-piece towards the back window. Fully set up for P5 is it's going to be 171 to 165. Just have to pay attention to the mini-map, though, because number 2 in Gunless, he works his way through tunnel. Is he going to be sniffed out?
Looks as if he will be. Gunless's Flasher winning a few fights toward the front. Meanwhile, Bance gonna have to do it all himself. Not having the greatest of games, but now would be the time to go on a spree. aBeZy decides to hop inside of the point, but it's Insight who's there to watch over for his teammates. Some great clearance there out of Insight. Bance decides to go ahead and grab the automaton off the ground. A little bit watery, but it still shoots just fine, as that'll be 5 in a row now for Bance. Back and forth we go. Now it's gonna be the Ultra getting a full 60 themselves and grabbing the lead that LAG once had for themselves. They've now got 20 points in their favor. A minute 15 on the clock. That's going to be something that we will continue to harp on, as P1 can be a dicey one. Not a whole lot of time typical on this hill specifically. aBeZy with a great little line of sight there, holding spawns for next. So LAG with preferred positioning, with Toronto still with that 30-point advantage, Jay.
Yeah, that clock is definitely potentially going to come into play, as LAG are putting a lot of pressure in towards the middle of the map. They still have the spawns towards back Barn, but Ultra, they're able to find a couple kills, get onto this middle point. It's only going to be 30 seconds left. But if you're Ultra, you're not too worried about keeping these guys off the point, as Huke's hitting shots like that, able to find 2. The trade is going to be there. Now 20 seconds left. LAG, they're just thinking big picture. They want to keep these spawns for P2.
We'll see if they can be given that. I believe that stun does open things up eventually for aBeZy. The great coordination, as that'll equal out to a 2-piece. Nearly makes it a 3rd. CleanX will be able to escape with his life inside of Grandma's. With 3 seconds on this hill, it is all going to be about this next rotation. We talk about it constantly. So far on bokash, this appears to be the money hill right now on this map. And with the game on the line, and with a huge map right now for LAG, all things considered, they cannot afford to drop 25 seconds now on the game clock, as LAG will have to try to stop this one. It's only going to be a 4-point game. If they can hold this time, if they can win these 1v1 fights, and they'll do exactly that. Great plays coming in from LAG. 5 more points away from taking this advantage for themselves. CleanX tried to make the long route. He gets picked off as well. Back and forth we go. 2 points now. LAG trying to do everything they can, being aware of now the fact that the clock sits in their favor. Back and forth we go inside a Barn. It's a 1v1 trade. LAG remaining, staying alive. Bance trying to contest as he wins a big fight himself.
16 seconds left. LAG, they are going to get broken, but now you're thinking about that rotation. We're going to have huge gunfights coming on across the map, as aBeZy does find one. He's going to be the only player of LAG on this side. You have to try to play your life and allow your teammates to try to set up a pinch, but Toronto, they're holding this to the T. They should be able to take the lead here.
This could be the play. This could be the play. They may not know that he's made it back here. Bance, meanwhile, is finding a few nice kills there toward the front. aBeZy is going to have to reveal his cards, but is he going to even have that opportunity? No, he gets shut down. Cammy's making the plays to the middle side of the map. Ultra, they can hop off the point if they'd like. They're trying to make sure that there's nobody from LAG in the back of the base. They'll look to stay on it, and that could work out for the Guerrillas. Maybe one more push. Now primed up and ready. It's a 1-for-1 trade to start, but it's aBeZy, it's Huke. They combine for a few, and now they will hold on to spawns. They break on in, and with 7 seconds on the clock, this game is still very much alive. That's going to be 4 down in the feed. Toronto now look to try to re-challenge themselves. Back and forth we go. aBeZy trying to push out these lanes. Nobody from Toronto can even see the point, but it's now going to be on the rotation. A contest for a moment. Toronto with the scoring advantage, as they will hold on to the seconds. LAG What can they do? A push is going to have to come in from somebody. Somebody's going to have to get on the point. A contest will not allow for this one to continue as Toronto. A wild hardpoint victory. The rotation is theirs. But a game to remember. The craziness of Bocage continues to wow us as the Ultra somehow, some way, Study will escape with this map 1 win, but I promise you I couldn't tell you how.
Yeah, that was insane. That was an insane start to this series between both of these teams. Right there, Ultra, they're so good as a team, man. Like, even though aBeZy was able to sneak his way through the back, they were focused on everyone else. They just basically just disregarded aBeZy in the back. You weren't going to block the spawns because we were picking a majority of those kills, and that's how they were able to just hold down that hard point to the T. It got a little scary there because if you're Ultra, you get it clean for dead. There's only 7 seconds on the clock. You push that towards the middle map. You don't even give them an opportunity to contest that P3 hard point. But when it gets down to that barn hill, they did a great job of just winning those rotation gunfights, and then even towards the very end, keeping the hill contested. Because if you're LAG, obviously, in your mindset, it's all about flooding, getting these guys off the point. But when you have players from the Ultra who are just sitting in contest positions to close out the game, that is how you start the series if you're the Ultra. Not starting off on 1, winning your opening hard point to give you guys the advantage going throughout the rest of this series.
Yeah, Ultra until this point had lost their last 3 opening hard points. Granted, it is versus LA Thieves and the Seattle Surge, great teams in their own regard, but yeah, a roster that is yet to lose a hard point here at the Major I Qualifiers now will no longer earn that title. And Jay, I feel like in regards to this Bocage, I don't want to say it was more than like a 25-point advantage either which way. Constant lead changes, and as you said, I mean, just a number of different rotations where surprisingly we did see a few 60-point holds, specifically like you said in that barn rotation, and then also over at the water side there for Toronto. Just a crazy, I mean, one of the closest hardpoint games that you're gonna see, especially considering, like we said, the biggest advantage was what, maybe 25 points, but an odd score line, but not really when we're talking about Bocage. 245 to 239. Toronto escaped with the game 1, and that has got to hurt if you're an LAG fan, Jay.
100%, man, because now you're going into a search and destroy where Toronto Ultra, since they have unbelievable teamwork, they were a roster that didn't make a roster change going into this year. They have nothing but chemistry, and we saw it last week for LAG. They were able to win the search and destroy versus New York in a 6-1 dominant fashion. I'm pretty sure it was 6-0 actually. Had a couple players drop a donut on the side of NYSL, but this is still a veteran team. So I'm expecting them to come out with great strategies to try to take on the Toronto Ultra, but a majority of that comes down to just the play of aBeZy and Huke. We saw the playmaking ability of aBeZy last week, especially on Berlin. The guy was the only player in that B site popping 2 pieces whenever he wanted. You need to have that same performance if you're aBeZy going into this map number 2, because you cannot allow Toronto to go up 2-0 going into control, which is their bread and butter.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I mean, LAG have had their fair share of moments where players have had some donuts, but as you said, they've kind of rebounded as of late. Nice 6-0 versus New York just to close out their opening weekend performance. But as we take a look through the numbers here, Jay, you see a few highlighted for LAG specifically. As you look through these, what seems to be off right now?
The biggest thing, it has to be the defensive round wins, obviously sitting at 31%. They have 68% first blood rate. When you're getting that first blood, you have to be able to win your man advantages. But now they're going into a Tuscan. So that defensive round percentage is going to be a little bit more difficult because you know how fast Tuscan can be. It's all about the offense, all about taking control of mid-map. And obviously on the side of Toronto, they're a little bit more consistent when it comes to this game mode.
Yeah, they absolutely are. I mean, we talk about this Ultra team. This, I know we say it a lot, but it is their bread and butter, without a doubt. I mean, they like this mode. They have really fine-tuned this mode in particular. And throughout the, crazy season last year for them in Cold War, this is really the mode that built this team up throughout a majority of the season. So in terms of search and destroy, as you said, Ultra, this has been a specialty for them. But again, for the LA Guerrillas side, you can never really count out a group like this in regards to the veterans on this team. We talked about communication. Toronto is obviously going to have that. Nameless, I mean, without a doubt, stated it earlier, some of the best communication that we have in the entirety of the CDL sits on the other side for the Ultra, but with a lot of veterans on this LAG side. There is just a matter of time before you feel like that connects, and who knows, man, maybe this team can start to be a threat in this mode. It just seems right now that hard point and that control really seems to fit them quite nicely. But Toronto Ultra, man, just a group of 4 players that we just feel like are going to rebound off of that loss they had versus Seattle. I mean, that has to hurt. A game 5, round 11, they got to be coming out with some fire, and they showed us that in that Bocage.
100%. To lose a Game 5 round 11 to the Iceman on a Ninja Defuse, if you're the Ultra, that one's frustrating. You even saw it at the end of the match, like their player cams, they were all very, very frustrated. You can just tell. But it's all about letting that go now, because obviously that's only one series. There's a whole season that you need to focus on. So it's all about learning from your mistakes and moving forward. So now they find themselves up 1-0 in this series. Like I said, as long as they shut down the SMG presence on the side of LAG, they're in a great spot to go up 2-0 into this map. But one player that I really want to see step up has to be Cammy. We saw him in that last series in that he played for Seattle. He was sitting at like a 0.8. He even had one map where he had a donut in Search and Destroy. Yeah. We're talking about Cammy. This is a guy who was up for an MVP candidate last year. Like, this is a guy who can take over the game at any moment, and we saw what he was able to do on Tuscan with that sniper in his hands. Hopefully he brings it out here as well.
Yeah, and that's been one of the most exciting prospects about this Toronto team, Jay, right? I mean, they come out, they win the Kickoff Classic, which a lot of people were like, okay, like we weren't really for sure where to rank this team. Not a ton of great practice playing against some EU Challenger teams. They come out and they win. But like I said, it was not the Cammy and Insight show. It was very much CleanX leading the way. And the fact that Cammy has had a little bit of a slower start in comparison to where he was at the end of Cold War, you know, granted, could be a little bit scary, but the fact that he comes out, plays as well as he did on that opening bocage, and still yet with the potential we know that this Toronto team can have, it has got to be exciting knowing that you could very well have CleanX now joining the ranks with you know, with what is going to be another solid AR duo, one of the best in the entirety of the league. And both those guys were obviously up for team of the year last year, right? That AR combo. So with that in mind, folks, we do apologize. A brief little delay getting into the lobby for this Tuscan Search and Destroy. But for the folks at home, Jay, walk us through Tuscan S&D a little bit. Maybe not as common as we're used to seeing. Defense, offense, you know, it plays out a little bit differently.
Yeah, so offense is a little crazy. It's all about just trying to attack that A-bomb as fast as you can. If you're the team on the defensive side, it's all about just lining up those teammates to try to get that player off bomb, or just starting off early into the rounds, being aggressive, super aggressive in towards the middle of the map. Because when you're applying that pressure early on to Search and Destroy, you're making the opposite team thinking like, hey, they started off really aggressive. They're probably going to start to slow down. But that just throws off the way that they want to use their playbook or their play calling when they try to make those mid-game adjustments.
Yeah, without a doubt. And we are going to get very well treated when it comes down to Tuscan. Again, this is going to be one of potentially 3 opportunities to see this bad boy. As you see the stats on your screen, Jay just discussed it, right? Offense winning a majority of the time. In fact, it is 63%. Defenses in those neutral retake situations, not so great. You don't want to allow for that bomb to go down. One thing that probably will change in this game, but one thing that we have to bring up, Jay, I think this is true. Shout out to Carson for this stat. Toronto right now, 100% offensive win rate right now on Tuscan. Take that for what you will. They've yet to lose an offense on this.
All right, well, that's going to be really difficult on the side of LAG because they have a 31% win rate on the defensive side. So
that's true. Yeah.
In Toronto, you have 100% on Tuscan on your offenses. Those are basically in the bag. You just have to sneak out at least 1 or 2 defenses, and this one should be yours.
Marky B's sitting there like, yes, bring it on. Bring it on. Yeah. It's time for the attacking victories. But no, we'll see exactly what LAG can do. As you said, man, it's just a matter of time. It feels like before this Guerrillas roster maybe starts to upgrade themselves in the Search Destroys. And it's hard, right, to rank, you know, in terms of that 6-0 win versus New York, which is excellent. We just talked about it, right? They make a roster change right after that series was over. So you're not really sure where you put this team right now. But when we talk about Search, Destroy, and for the Guerrillas specifically, they know what they need to work on. They've got a great coaching staff. You're very well familiar, obviously, with a guy like Ricky, Bevels as well, working behind the scenes. They've got a great crew to try and turn around what could be a few mistakes being made in the Search Destroys. But it cannot be understated. 100% win rate on offense, it's not going to be easy to beat.
Definitely not, man. But I'm excited to see the sniper battle between Gunless and Cammy. We know that battle majority of the times go down towards that A site. We saw Simp and Attach have it in the previous series. And hopefully, you know, majority of those first bloods, if LAG are able to win it, they get like 68% first blood and they still lose the round. Like on a map like Tuscan, on the defensive specifically, you get a first blood, you give yourself so many opportunities to retake that A-bomb. You can go right through the defensive side on P5, push straight to go for a late flank, or even have the numbers to try to jump out middle while that plan is going down towards A. It just all depends on if you have the man advantage, play the buddy system, and play the trade.
Absolutely. Well, folks, I do apologize. We've been told that the issue is still arising, so we're going to throw it to a quick little commercial break. But do not fret. You're about to get your fix of Tuscan, and you know you're going to love it. But, folks, when we come back, and it's time for Tuscan Search Destroy Game 2 between the Guerrillas and the Ultra. Stay with us.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League. Call of Duty competitors, your time is now. The Ranked Play beta launches worldwide. Get ready to jump in, earn a Season 2 skill rating, and begin your path to competitive glory. Hardpoint, Search and Destroy, Control. Play like the pros in seasonal 4v4 competition, featuring the same weapons, settings, maps, and game types used week after week in the Call of Duty League. Like a good sweat? This is it. But are you the best, or do you just think you are? Featuring 7 skill divisions with 5 tiers each, a 1 to 50 level progression system, and regular ladder events, even the most hardcore of competitive players will find opportunities to prove their mettle against Call of Duty's elite. See how you stack up against the best in the world with more skill information and precision than ever before seen in ranked Call of Duty. Complete 5 placement matches in the beta to earn a skill rating and placement in one of Ranked Play's 7 skill divisions. Win ranked matches to earn SR and advance your way through tiers towards a division promotion. Only the best will make it to the top. What is the top? Ranked Play will feature a unique leaderboard for the top 250 players in the world that's visible to everyone. Track your favorite pros as you climb the mountain to play alongside them. Compete for glory and get rewards to commemorate your achievements. Each competitive season, players can gain access to additional seasonal and skill rewards exclusive to Ranked Play. Unlocked rewards can be used in both Vanguard and Warzone, so your opponents will know who they're up against no matter where you play. When you achieve something few other players have, the world will know it. The new home of competitive Call of Duty is here. So assemble your crew, live the dream of the CDL, and earn your spot alongside the world's best players in Vanguard's brand new Ranked Mode beta.
Well, here we go, mate. We're not wasting any time getting the first match of the 2022 Vanguard season underway.
Turns out just a bunch of contest time, and even after all the gunfights come through.
Hey, Paddy shot lands one. It's a big tag from Zero.
It is a 9-life lead.
It is a 3-0 to start the season for the Ravens.
So it is time for Bocage. Pendulum going back and forth right now as Cap from the top side of the gate is able to beam one down himself. Also having a few long-range shots for Gunless. 3 versus 8. The blender, if you will, inside of Fire and LAG. Gunless inside of the point, trying to stay alive. He's got the sniper. He gets picked apart as well. And now it's all on to Asim. Say goodnight to him.
Here we go. NYSL, Seattle Surge.
We're in church, but it looks like for the map spread, NYSL able to lock it down.
Ooh, it's open. Here comes NYSL, but it's Simp. What a read. Simp finds a few more. Putting the old boys down. 1v1. It's Clay versus Pred. It's Nemesis. Oh! We stop it. Pred's on the flank, and here he goes. Can they find the kill? Next, dancing around. And Sim's there for the kill, and that is going to be it. Oh my God. It is over.
The first matchup of the day, the Atlanta FaZe versus Paris Legion. I can't wait.
We talked about John, by the way, 17.
He's going crazy right now.
And there's going to be the strafe, one more. He has at least not just one, but 2 players in his sights. Thank you for the first blood. Thank you for the second and the third. See if they can do that. 8 seconds. The time continues to go away, but Decimate, he jumps in from the top. He jumps in from the top. He's also got another player in his sight. Another player entering in toward his perspective as he gets taken down. Now it's Decimate instantly on the return of fire. Arcitys drops, and John at least keeps this game afloat for a moment. But aBeZy, he just got 1 foot still inside of the hill. Close range shots. Hits the first one with the pistol to make John feel somewhat uncomfortable. But John's able to read him, and he goes for the 1v2. It's all on to John and FaZe. At the snap of a finger, they disappear, and John will have to watch this series go the opposite direction.
The London Royal Ravens versus OpTic Texas.
And he'll put the presence in the back of their minds from OpTic. They think that the flank is happening when in reality it's Nasty re-challenging them once more. Nasty with the ace in his sights, and he'll take it.
Ravens are able to get on the point. It's only a matter of time before they close it out here.
Looks to be theirs. It looks to be theirs, and it will be. London nearly back to back. The Scump gets dropped as well. It's all on to Shotzzy and the 1 versus 2, but the fuse, it's going down, and Gizmo watches over for his teammate.
Over to our first map we go, and it's Tuscan.
going to be the win here for Seattle unless you get things going. 5 seconds for the win, and there's no one in position. And Mack's doing a victory lap right now. Here comes the absolute war over by Tanks and Mack. What a beautiful flank this could be. The second. Oh!
It doesn't look like they are. Fred has an opportunity. There's the first. There's the second.
10 seconds now, Cammy on the push, and that could be it. We could be going to a game 4. Bance once again sees a cheek. Whose butts that? Cleans one up. Bance finds another kill. And Toronto Ultra get it done. Accuracy's on the defuse. Bance, oh my God. Is he going to check it? Here comes CleanX. The Iceman jumps on the bomb, and it was a fraction of a second. Subliners, let's see what they've got to bring here. Is into Berlin we go.
You're waiting for that next set of gunfights to come through. Huke able to strike. E5-2, E5-3.
Calls in the strafing run and a skrrr across the map right there. Kills all over the place. LAG on the other side of the wall, and that is the round, and it is an absolute catastrophe from the New York Subliners.
There are 2 players in church. There's 1 player in church. A seam! It's still going! Oh my God, a seam!
This is it for LAG. 1 decent push is all you need. NYSL, get in there and get off the point. 5 now to go. Can anyone stop it? No! They've all gone! They've been wiped out! It is a perfect 4, and oh man.
Handle it steady, have some fun, give it your curse, and go ahead and take it away.
Give it. I'll tell you this, after this, gosh, that's not the case. Okay.
It's going to take a prayer from Paris to make anything of this advantage, and they're all lining up. 2 more seconds. Legion have got to break on in. Is it going to come down to a clutch from Vivid? Despite the numbers, he will prevail.
We got to start with Tuscan. But keep in mind, Thieves right now 5-1 record overall on hardpoint.
Hit 5 seconds to go. aBeZy finds 1, only to be traded out. Oh my God, Octane! He's the last man up! There's no one around! aBeZy kills Simp with a straight front. Arcitys now flying, go! No way!
Let a couple players through, lay the trap, and hopefully find those shots, and he does.
Even on a money hill like River, FaZe find a way to bully themselves, get inside. Easy kills for aBeZy. Atlanta FaZe dominant.
OpTic Texas versus the Minnesota Røkkr. Down, Dashy falls as well, and it's all going to be on to Shotzzy, who goes big for the first. Can he find the second? He will. 1v1's constant pressure coming in at opposite times, but Scump, are Minnesota going to do this? Are they going to force the map 5? And yes, they will. A huge moment to win, but all 3 members drop. It's all on to the captain. It's all on to Scump. A huge 1v3, but Røkkr will take it in the end.
This weekend, this shows you how great Call of Duty Vanguard has been. The CDL in 2022 is just about everything. And we'll see you next time for some more CDL action.
Hello. How are you? We're happy to see you, Jay. Talk to me, man. That rank play roundtable that we got to see earlier, the commercial, it gets me hyped, man. It's great. I'm excited.
I'm excited for rank play. Let me tell you, I haven't really been playing a lot of Call of Duty because I'm not really a pub guy, but to get rank play back into the game, that's where we see the caster crew. You know, me, you, Miles, and Chance. We probably might throw Nameless here and there. He's not really a grinder anymore, but I can't wait for that to happen, man. I'm so excited for rank play.
Goodness, putting him on the Amos is catching some strays. Didn't even realize it. Who do you think's making the challenger, by the way, out of the talent team? Am I up here? Nobody else?
No, nobody else. It's just be me.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Just verifying.
It's okay.
By the way, folks, if you're just joining us, wondering why we're talking about what we are. Hey, we're in the middle of a series, by the way. It is the Toronto Ultra taking on the LA Guerrillas. We apologize. Teams try to make sure that we are good to go connection-wise, and we are. Into Tuscan Search Destroy we go, and we will be in the Italian streets for a while. So it's going to be our next 2 maps after this one. Toronto taking the game number 1 on Bocage in a very interesting way. But here we are already into the attack as LAG successful in planting down that bomb, but it is going to be the Ultra successfully grabbing in that first blood. CleanX is going to make it 2. Now up to Huke and aBeZy.
So now into 4v2. Huke has to try to make a play. He does find one. Spots a second as well. Makes it a 2v2 immediately. 25 seconds left. Both players from the Ultra are going to be in towards the middle of the map. And time is starting to dwindle. What looked like to be an LAG just not guaranteed round. They still have the chance to clutch it here.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Bance coming around the corner, able to take down aBeZy. Now it's all going to be on to Huke, trying to play the time, but Bance will secure it. Allows for CleanX to have a successful defuse. What looked like it could have been a 2v4 off the back of the SMG duo themselves. It will be the other SMG duo staying alive and keeping what could have been a very big swing round the start.
That's just good work coming in from Ultra. Once they found that first blood onto the play top fire, they have the 3v4. This is what allows your SMG players to be playmakers. CleanX hits his way through Fountain, finds a second, almost got scared into 2v2, but Bance was able to close it out, hits the full flank around the middle of the map, finds the first player, finds a second. Just in the nick of time, they're able to get the defuse. Good round out of the Ultra.
And we will test now that offensive stat that we discussed
Let's
earlier. Carson did confirm it, 5-0 right now. And attacking grounds, maybe not statistically as high as you would have liked, but still 100% win rate. We'll see if they can keep it up. LAG not successful in their first venture on attack in Tuscan, but there we go. Sounds like a story. Attack on Tuscan. No idea. Maybe it sounds like something else. aBeZy, meanwhile, able to find the first blood onto Bance, so Ultra's chances of keeping this up not looking all that likely, as that'll be 3, and the stats maybe somewhat of a caster curse, Jay. I may have just ruined it for them.
Yeah, 100%. 31% defensive win rate, and it doesn't matter. 4v1, and we're going to be able to make it look clean as LAG find all 4.
My bad.
Just great work from LAG, specifically more out of aBeZy. They were able to at least slow down that push from Toronto Ultra. They weren't playing for that rush plant. You saw that player with the bomb in his hands. He throws a detonate toward their side, and then eventually tries to work it. But once LAG realized that they were going to be a little bit late on that push, they take control of the middle of the map. aBeZy was able to open up the first blood onto the player on bomb. And then at that point, it's all about playing the kills. They were able to find every single player without anyone dropping. Nice, clean defensive round coming in out of LAG.
My apologies, Toronto, for just totally screwing that up. It was a great stat, but it only lasted a round.
Caster
so
curse.
With that in mind. Yep, it absolutely is. Caster curse is in full force, but a great start for Huke, a guy that has not had a superb search and destroy KD so far. Already out of the gates at 4-1. Meanwhile, it is his SMG duo in aBeZy, locking in that objective nice and early. A great coordination as Huke will now make it 4 in a row. LAG coming out of the gates hot as they will reverse what we saw in that opening attack with a solid victory here. Planting the bomb down. Huke's pushing out lanes. LAG looking clean.
They just made the adjustments from the first round. Like the first round, they didn't have a single player watching that late flank. This time, they slowed their push, or at least were a little bit more aggressive as aBeZy was working that bomb, but they put Huke on the late flank. He was able to find 2 kills. That's just another clean round out of LAG. 2 rounds in a row where neither one of them had dropped. 8 straight kills coming in favor of LAG.
You see Huke's eyes? He looks dense right now. Off
Twisted.
to a 6-1 beginning. Cammy will do everything he can to try and slow down. Oh, what is a current Guerrillas push through the side of field. 0 for 1, but Bance is at least able to make things that much easier despite the early miss snipe. It will be the SMG picking up and doing some of the work. Huke's still in the midst of trying to hunt for some streaks. Now Cammy aware of his push. Great coordination there from Slasher and Huke together. Longtime teammates utilizing that teamwork, and they're going to have to continue to do it as that bomb is rotated over at B, and now it's on to the retake for Guerrillas.
And CleanX does find the first blood. Trade is going to be here from Huke. Great shots onto Bance on a 6 spree, potentially picking up a glide bomb as well. But CleanX finds the second. Now Huke left in a 1v2, makes it a 1v1.
At the very least, he earned some streaks. So, hey, all things considered, Toronto Ultra, they secured the round. But Huke, my goodness, we're just 3 rounds, 4 rounds in, and he's already got both streaks. Insight, sweat off the brow situation, gets his first kill of the game. And thankfully, it is on the hottest man right now in the lobby.
He's playing really well, man. He picks up that glide bomb nice and early. LAG, unfortunately, are not able to walk away with the round. As Toronto Ultra, just a great heads-up play. They get the first blood. They rotate that over towards that B site. Yeah, he's frying. Someone's got to help him. You see LAG being super aggressive in towards the middle of the map. This time, Ultra, they're playing it slow. They're not giving up anything. They're just playing for a nade kill, and that's exactly what they're able to do. Open up with that first blood.
Huke's at least able to drop 1, so he'll make Gunless and Slasher's lives that much more easy. But a 2 versus 3, considering that bomb has fallen inside of the A site. Gunless lines up 1. How about the second? Great work coming through from Gunless, as now it's going to be on to Insight again. This time in a 1 versus 2 clutch. Gunless gets dropped, and now it's down to the ARs. Auto versus auto. Insight will take it. How about the shots from this man? We go back and forth. We're highlighting Huke, and Insight says, yeah, remember me? Yeah, the guy with the #1 search destroy KD last season. I am here as well. The last 5 kills all go into that man.
Yeah, Gunless, he was able to at least find 2 of those players trying to hit through the late flank, but wasn't expecting the third. His inside hits great shots onto Gunless, and then just jumps around Ego Chow Slasher as he knows that the flank has to be coming in. Great round coming in from the Ultra to clutch up. They open up with the first blood as well. Almost got a little scary once Gunless found that too, but they're able to win the defensive round. Not going back to the offense's all-out aggression towards this A-bomb.
Oh, he can't.
Watch that arm.
He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. CleanX. Again, the Toronto Ultra continuing to apply the pressure in the early stages of the round. Huke picking up right for his teammate. Is now running the 2 versus 2. Huke, by the way, already at 11-3. Gets the kill with the glide bomb. Still has the strafe to work with. But it is he and aBeZy working together. Bance and Cammy just waiting to get the clearance at this A site. Cammy, with that sniper out, is going to have to be careful. Given his positioning, Bance gets some intel on the players. At least one sitting toward top church. Cammy's there to strike. Huke falls. And once more, it is a great situation for Toronto. But aBeZy still alive and able to make the play. As that bomb's going to get planted. And he'll look to find Cammy to start. No, Cammy wins it. Ultra, they'll secure it.
Ultra, once again, just making the rounds look easy. They were able to just put on a lot of pressure towards that A-bomb. But then once that glide bomb gets called in, you see that they just scattered. They allowed Bance to be their bomb carrier to push all the way through their spawn. Finds that kill onto aBeZy, puts the man advantage in their favor. And then even in that 2v2, Bance, he wasn't afraid to be the aggressor there. He pushes in towards bottom church. He gives the call out to his teammate in Cammy. He was a super aggressive in towards that player. Makes it a 2v1. Toronto, this is what they're so good at. Just making those mid-round adjustments, those mid-game adjustments as the game is going on.
That's what you can expect, right, from a team that obviously decided to stick together last year, a roster that is all about that communication, that teamwork. The swing round now in for the Guerrillas. As Bance will look to challenge and at the perfect time. Great work there from Benjamin Bance. Walks on through, takes down aBeZy. We say goodnight to Huke as well. And now it's all on to Gunless and Slasher. We've seen some clutches already. We've seen some highlight plays. But it's going to be on to Gunless in a 1v4. Best of luck. And Ultra look primed to put themselves on map point, and they will.
And that's just one of those teamwork-oriented rounds right there, because Ultra, they were not afraid on the defensive round right there. When you have Insight who's sitting towards top church, they know that Gunless is always that player that goes in towards top fire. But when Insight is giving you the information that, hey, Gunless is not peeking top fire, he's not peeking the window, this is your opportunity to push straight through middle and get that player off bomb. As Bance finds the perfect timing with Insight watching over him, gets the first blood, and then they just make the kills look easy, able to go up match point, up 5-2 on the Ultra.
Great beginning for Toronto. Slasher still sitting on a donut. It's been a common thing for the Guerrillas. Will we see their third as there goes aBeZy. Another first blood for Toronto. We talked about it at the start of the show. Ultra struggling in these early engagements, but doing a great job here versus LAG. Cammy, potentially a nail in the coffin is Huke. Evening things up now at a 3 versus 3 as he takes down CleanX. Slasher falls, so now 0-6 for him, yet to join the agency, but will he have even the chance to do so? Considering that this round very well could be going toward Toronto. Back and forth, Cammy and Bance drop, and now it's all on to Insight in the 1v2.
He spots one. So no player's going to be on a defuse, but Gunless able to stay alive here. He knows that Huke is on that side of the map as well. 13 seconds left. It could come down to just getting one kill if you're Insight.
He gets taken down. Both players rock out dead silence just to make sure that that push was going to be that much easier. LAG stay alive. And to be honest, Jay, most importantly, I don't want to see Huke, who's having a great start, get taken down so quickly. He's at like 13, 14 kills. He's 14-5.
Yeah, we need to make sure that that guy is staying alive. If anyone's going to get first blooded here, it has to be Slasher, the guy currently dropping a donut. But he has the chance now, with them still being alive in this game, to change that stat line. Down 3-5, going into the offensive attack, are gonna be LAG. I would like them to just work this A bomb plan. I'll just catch them completely off guard with a B push, and that's exactly what's gonna happen here. As you have two players pushing through P5, which are gonna be Huke and his teammate alongside aBeZy. Toronto Ultra, though, they're prepared for anything.
That's the one positive as well. If you are LAG, and get them to utilize all that utility, and they've clearly done so. A lot of stuns, a lot of nades thrown. They also did stun over here at P5. Bance is going to be the first one with some information, and he will dip on out. Brought down quite low, but able to escape with his life, and that very well could be the reason why they win this round. Huke again, playing excellent, gunless as well. Watching out inside a radio, aBeZy there on the plant. Everybody doing their jobs. Bance still alive. Slasher is there for his first kill of the game, and LAG staying alive.
That was just a great round. Great all-will coming in from LAG. Once they found that first kill of the player onto his top plat, it was just, hey, we catch them off guard. These players are going to be on the rotation. We watch our crosses. We get this bomb plant. Should be an easy round, as they were only one player drops on the side of LAG. Now staying alive, down 5-4. Going into another defensive attack. If I'm LAG, I'm all out aggressive towards middle, because if I'm Toronto, I'm playing for that quick A play.
It's some great calls already, my friend. We'll see if that will be the strategy for Toronto, as they will initialize all their forces at A. Gunless looking for the early push up inside a field. He's not going to have that, but a great call, as Bance will plant down that objective somewhat unscathed. No fire met, just some nades, some utility tossed out. So now it's all going to be on to the retake. Will we have the round 11 force from LAG? But how about CleanX? CleanX nearly for 3. He takes down Slasher and aBeZy, but he at least sets his teammates up for the 3rd kill. Totally exploding out this round, as now it's all going to be on the gunless. A 1 versus 4, 18 seconds on the clock. And best of luck to you, Pierce, as that will be the final nail in the coffin. How about the plays from CleanX, setting up his teammates and not allowing for what was a 5-2 advantage to be sent to a round 11. LAG fought, but CleanX, he will seal the deal.
Ultra just able to make the play call that very final round. They said, hey, we get this A-bomb plant, especially with the way that LAG was set up. You had 2 players who were sitting towards back A and 2 players who were basically camping in towards church. No one was paying attention to the late flank. When you're not paying attention to that position, this is what allows Ultra playmakers to be playmakers. CleanX able to hit through that P5. Once that A-bomb gets planted, you see that all of LAG, they're thinking, hey, we got mid-map control. We can potentially break this, but no one has the late flank. They allowed CleanX to work his way to top church, finds the first, finds the second, almost finds the third, but at that point, it's just way too late for LAG to try to play for the retake. Puts them down 0-2 in this series, now going into a control. They fought. It was a great search and destroy between both teams, but if you're LAG, you cannot allow those openings on the map.
Yeah, without question. And that's the one thing we talked about at the end of that scorecard is consistency, right? For the side of Toronto Ultra, everybody around the same numbers. For the side of LAG, Huke 15-6. For aBeZy and Slasher combined 3-15. So we talked about consistency on the side of Toronto, as they will walk away with that game 2 search and destroy as well. But Ultra finding themselves up to 0. LAG now needing some signs of life. Can it be on this upcoming control? We will have to find out. We are staying on Tuscan when we come back after this break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Alrighty, friends, welcome back to week 2 of our Major I qualifiers. But let's take a quick little trip back onto opening weekend. Yeah, you've seen this highlight. Oh boy, I know I have multiple times, and right before I go to sleep every single night. LAG, like we said, Jay, getting ready to come into this Tuscan control, and we know that a man has fried on this map previously. aBeZy, the streak from last week, one of the best highlights that we're gonna see all season long. What do you expect to see from this guy again on this very same map and mode with its teammates down now 0-2?
He just has to be this confident on the map. You can just tell his movement, his shot, everything was on point. And so far throughout this series, he's sitting at a 0.79. In that series versus NYSL, he was at a 1.4. So it's basically 2 players right now of aBeZy in this series alone when they played versus NYSL. But if you're aBeZy down 0-2, not really having the best of series, you're still not out of it though. You're still not out of it. This is one of your bread and butter maps. You're really confident on this. Just looking at the aggression from him and Huke though, because those players, if they can keep on the aggression the way that they were versus NYSL, consistently staying in towards B5, always just being a nuisance in towards bottom fire, in towards middle alley, this is where you allow players like aBeZy to really shine.
Yeah, and you saw that, right, throughout the entirety of the series versus New York. Obviously, that Tuscan control, a primary reason for, some amazing stats, but what, plus 31 and 1.40 KD. There is no doubt about it. The explosiveness that aBeZy can provide you with, I mean, it's been talked about a number of different times. Crowder, who basically discovered this guy. aBeZy was a viewer in his chat, literally picked him out from a group of viewers' plays. He has said it multiple times. aBeZy can be one of the best players in the game when he is hot. And so far throughout control, so far on Tuscan control specifically, Jay, as we've talked about it, as we have seen, he just knows when it's time to turn up, and he has oftentimes been the playmaker for this team in this very map and mode. But I will pose the question to you. Do you think he has it in him to rally back LAG to make this series go to at least a game 4?
He definitely does. He's a tremendous player. Even with his back against the wall last year when he was put in a New York situation, he still went out there and was able to perform. Now you find yourself in this situation, down 0-2, playing against probably 2 of the best playmakers in the game, in Bance and CleanX. It's all about starting off hot, and when Cammy's jumping out the church like that, jump shot right off the rip to take down Gunless.
Yeah, some great aggression being shown from the Ultra. Maybe they have taken the chains off of Cammy and just allowed for this man to fly, and he has fried so far throughout this series. Some great work coming in from the Ultra off the rip. First 30 seconds are in, and to somewhat of a surprise, LAG yet to get a ton of progress over at this objective as Bance now off a 3 streak of his own. Life count currently even, but the Guerrillas, they've got to eventually make their way over at that A point, and CleanX and co are doing a great job at limiting any of that presence constantly. LAG are dropping, and Jay, these are crucial lives to start off this round for a team that's on attack.
Yeah, this is very crucial. If you're LAG, it's all about just trying to get this A point, but Toronto, they're just putting so much pressure, throwing so many lives at this point, trading back and forth as they're able to win the majority of those gunfights once again. Now with 30 seconds left, LAG, they are down by 3 lives, but this is going to force that rotation over to B. You have a couple players from the Ultra already in this position. CleanX is going to go for the challenge, unfortunately lose the gunfight, so now he leaves Cammy here by himself.
The current 3 versus 1 in the but Cammy, you've got to be kidding me. Not just takes down one, or rather doesn't just take down one, he takes down 2. Unbelievable work there from the Scotsman, as Huke will do everything he can just to try and stop the clock, but that is not going to work for him. Insight does get taken down inside of you, so the clock will stop at 0.3 seconds. LAG finally able to see this bad boy after 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the question remains whether or not they will be able to take it. aBeZy aware of the flank. CleanX, though, able to win it that much stronger so far. But again, 0.3 on the clock. LAG eventually get pinched on out, and talk about a dominant round on the defensive end there for Toronto.
Yeah, that was a dominant round from the Ultra from start to finish. Even towards the very end right there, when it gets to about 7 seconds, usually you see a lot of teams like, hey, we did a good job at contesting A
yeah,
the majority of the time. We'll give it up. We'll have a 6-live advantage going in towards this B point. But Ultra, they said, hey, there's 0.3 on the clock. We're going to set up this double pinch. And once CleanX wins his gunfight versus aBeZy, which is the player that was watching that flank, that allows the pinch to come in and eventually Ultra to not allow LAG to complete either one of those points. Great first defensive round out of the Ultra.
Yeah, man. Toronto flex their muscles in That first control round, Inside has done it plenty of times in social media, and now he's doing it right now in this control. Off to a great start as he and the crew. Slasher and Asim, though, able to take down 2 off the start. Insight right on cue. Despite the nice flank is being presented there for Asim, they're able to deal with him, take him out for the time. And a much different story than that opening attacking round out of the Guerrillas. A much different situation. And Cammy catching players out, nearly takes down another one inside a church. But not only is there some presence at A, LIG are able to deal with that, but now the focus comes in over at B. CleanX, the first one here.
Yeah, they're just catching Guerrillas off guard. They're playing from the back foot, just so far ahead of the game right now, the Ultra, as Bance is winning gunfight after gunfight in the back of the spawn. Still have one player on this B point. Bance, unfortunately, is going to drop. But LAG, they were able to shut down that A pressure. Also eliminate a majority of these players at this B point, but still CleanX in a position to cause havoc. Cammy finds the second. If you're LAG down 3 lives, you still have 1 tick of progression you have to work towards A. Huke is just trying to cause problems on that side of the map. But Ultra, this is a great round out of them to just complete 2 segments before they reach that 30-second mark.
Yeah, it feels like we've been in this round forever, and we still have 58 seconds still looming. Few frustrating kills coming in from LAG. At one point, Slasher was just trying to climb on the ladder. You could tell he was communicating to his teammates, like, I don't know where they are. I'm just going to push on forward. When he does that, Ultra are there in the back lines. Bance adding now 2 more kills for what has been a great round and a half so far for him. As Bance, again, off life instantly, providing some great work for Ultra, whether it's in the slang or whether it's in the objective. Solidify that A point. Now we've got another minute added toward the clock, and Ultra are on the prowl now toward B. A few players spread across the map right now for them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my dog is getting a little excited. I don't know if you can hear that, but he's barking in the background.
He's excited.
Yeah, he's definitely excited for how this round is turning out. As Slasher does find one in towards Top Church. The trade is going to be there from Cammy, but this has been a great hold. 10-10 from LAG with a minute 17. Could not allow one of these Ultra players to be the playmaker. The closest one is going to be inside. He is going to be bottom. Church wins a huge one-on-one versus Gunless. Now this should open up this top plat push coming in from Ultra.
Well, there's a reason to bark. Some great plays coming in from the Ultra as they'll get to 3-for-1 in their favor. Cammy, around the corner he goes. My word. Slasher never stood a chance. That's now going to be 2 ticks already in for Toronto. They continue to apply the pressure as Cammy. That's going to be a 7 spree. Talk about streaks and talk about a round number 2 win. Okay, Toronto.
Ultra, that was another clinical round out of them. They start off their initial push towards A, and right off the rip, LAG, they were able to find 2 kills. This allows those players to flex towards that A site, but at the same time, the last 2 remaining players from the Ultra were able to find 3 kills as they were holding that A point. That shuts down that pinch from the players on LAG, and then when LAG put a lot of focus on that A point, it left it wide open, that B point, for the Ultra to just capitalize on that, push straight through their base, and just keep the spawns, or at least the kills, in their favor. Now up 2-0.
Good.
We saw the pressure that they were able to put on the very first defense, not even allowing LAG to complete this 8 point.
Bance, I mean, what? Just basically ragdolled himself inside of you. Just the confidence you can feel it right now from Toronto. They want to get this series done in 3. We've got to be feeling good right now, and I guess we'll have a great opportunity to find out exactly how those comms are sounding. Let's go ahead and step aside and see how the communication sounds right now for Toronto. 1 round away from a dub.
I'm trying to get top broken again. Fuck
I'll
it.
see him. Got ready.
The one on A. Is out fire?
Are you short on top broken?
You can. I don't know if you can shoot him.
Yeah, I'll try.
We can time and hit my absolute out fire. One's
Okay,
outside.
I'm name fire. Name fire.
You, absolute.
I'll come you up.
Slasher.
Fuck it.
Chalk now. Oh, sorry, their side. Oh wait, both sides you. Both sides you can. I chal it.
We can A. Yeah, near A.
Ace and weak their side.
Don't fertilize with that. You're good.
Dead.
Nice, good
Got
shot.
heavy, gunless. Yeah, choke it. One's not broken, Toby. I'm waiting.
Not broken. You might hold the pin.
He's chopped down mid already. Mid corner, dead. More on a deep spawn.
Bottom church dead.
Let's go, mate.
Well, not really.
Wait, he's mid shot crossed to you. He crossed to you.
They could go fucking.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll try and pick it up.
I might try to repinch these people here.
One back.
You.
Never that flowers. Slasher. It might turn around.
It did turn around. One more. Okay, Asen.
Let's go.
You got an angle on me. Fuck.
You guys play church. I pushed out front.
Yeah.
You already go church.
Gotta be church. Yeah. No, he's there.
Okay, I'm wrapping around. Don't chase him.
Yeah,
I'm at an 80.
One front of me. He's gone P5, I think. He seems absolutely amazing.
You don't see anything, Ben?
It's gone well.
Oh my goodness, Jay. I gotta tell you, man. I mean, that is the definition of calm. It just sounds like Just a group of mates having a great time in a TeamSpeak call. I mean, those guys sound chill despite being one round away from taking what would be an excellent series for them.
Yeah, it sounds like they're out there just playing pubs. That's how good the teamwork is on the side of Toronto Ultra. As they are still holding for the time being on the defensive side. They are down by 5 lives though. So right now, LAG do have plat control as Slasher finds 1. This should allow his teammates to try to push it through their back spawn, but inside and CleanX able to find 2, which is now going to slow down the push from LAG. 10-6 in lives remaining.
I was so enamored by the communication that I had no idea what the game looked like, but a nice shot there for aBeZy, taking the head clean off there of CleanX, who you got to imagine sounded totally fine whenever he died. But still, LAG on the ropes, as you mentioned, up 4 lives. With 50 seconds left, yet to secure a tick. Over at this B point, Guerrillas fighting for their lives. They put on social media that this is their first real test, and now being down 2-0, it's looking like this could be the ultimate test for them right now. And potentially what could be a failing grade, as now 4-7 in lives. Bance is able to take down 1, also escapes with his life. He's going to be aware of this push as one player has made his way toward the back. Slasher, he gets found out as the pressure will look to get applied toward the front. Huke has also made his way behind enemy lines. It's a big 1v1. He versus Bance, but Bance is able to take it. Now a 2v5. It's on to Bance and Cammy, and the Scotsman will bring out the glide bomb. You've got to be kidding me. They might walk away with this. It's now a 1 versus 3, all on to Cammy. Slides out, takes one down on the Slasher, also takes it on to Huke. It's a 1v1. aBeZy will take him down on the ladder. And what had to be a 1v1 victory for him, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh my, oh my.
What was that?
My jaw's on the bottom of the ground. I was not expecting it to be that close. Ultra, they almost clutched that. Like, obviously, in a 2v5 situation, Bance, he has to try to go big in the back of the base. He was able to find 2. And then eventually, Cammy pops that glide bomb, finds the 3rd. But then once Bance was traded, Cammy finds another 2, forces it to a 1v1. That player spawns mid and was able to get there in the nick of time before Cammy was able to sneak up the ladder.
But Jay, you gotta know their comms in that moment. We're like
100%.
All right,
it's still calm.
I'm gonna call him the glide bomb. Yeah, what is it? 2v7? Yeah, I'm gonna call him the glide bomb.
Well, you can still do this. Yep.
Yeah, they probably had not a care in the world. Oh my goodness, what a situation. Props to Ultra for getting as close as they did, but at least if you're the Guerrillas, there is some signs of life, and now the Ultra back on the attack after what was a crazy near clutch. Toronto back on the ropes, but already aggressive now over at that A point as they look good to secure it. A solid setup, really a box type setup right now as aBeZy is teaching everybody. Nice little angle to clear somebody off over at that field side. It is a 2-for-2 trade. CleanX still alive. He gets picked apart. And now LAG in a good situation, continuing to apply the pressure over at field. Toronto with 40 seconds left. They have not made any real progress. With aBeZy still alive in this position, that could be troublesome. But right on cue, they get a 4 down. Toronto, calm as ever. Now stack the point.
Yeah, so right there you saw LAG just being super aggressive towards the middle of the map, just trying to not allow Ultra to complete that 8 point, because based off that first round, Ultra is still going to be leading in that kill department. So if it does go to a round number 5, Ultra will be on the defense. As you see, LAG are able to find a clean 4, and with 30 seconds left, Ultra have yet to complete this 8 point. Exactly what Ultra are able to do in the very first defense, or what LAG are responding to try to get us to a round number 5.
Yeah, LAG, all business. 15 seconds in Toronto. We'll see what they look to do. They are going to try to seize the moment. Push on in. CleanX fires out a few bullets, trying to pre-aim somebody coming in from you, when in reality, it was aBeZy right there in toward the field. 13 seconds stopped on the clock. Insight for 1. A little shaky shots there for the second. Back and forth we go. 11 and some change still will sit at the hands of Toronto, but only for a moment as Huke takes his opportunity. That's going to be 3 down to the feed for a moment there for the Guerrillas. With 3 seconds left, LAG making this a non-laughing matter off of what was a crazy clutch. Us thinking, okay, cool. Toronto, they're feeling good. They're feeling confident. Guerrillas respond back with 2 rounds of their own.
Especially on the defensive side, to just to put on the aggression that they were towards that 8 points, to not allow Ultra to get it. You see your SMG players are staying alive. aBeZy actually went huge towards, with about 30 seconds left. He was able to find 2 kills laying behind that 8 point. Once he finds that 2, this is what allows Huke to just walk right up the middle of the map, set up for that late pinch. And now, even though LAG, they were able to win that defensive round, still not enough to get this defense when it comes to the kill department. So now you see a lot of pressure from them towards that A point. Ultra this time around, though, they're not going to get caught off guard. They are not going to allow any sneaky stuff to happen over at that B point. They find 2. Now it's all about taking mid-map control.
It's all business right now from Ultra, who ends up getting traded out. A big 1v1 onto the point, but Toronto are able to seal that team fight in their favor right now. CleanX finding some great shots there from long range. Cammy aware of what could be an overextension now made toward the B point, as he will say goodnight to Huke, but it is one player who does make his way inside a kitchen, and that, rather, excuse me, into church, as that's going to be aSimp for now. He's going to rock dead silence and try to find a few toward the middle side of the map. Toronto still with a great hold through the middle. LAG yet to really get anything going. These have been some solid defensive rounds. We've seen Toronto have theirs. We've had Guerrillas as well take a great one in that round prior to this. But LAG maybe with some light, as that'll be 3, make it 4 in terms of the feed, favoring them as they'll stop the clock and now secure that first ticket A.
First segment is in. If you're LAG, you need to guarantee this point. You cannot allow this player in towards the middle of the map, which is going to be CleanX. So allow a break to come in, as you see aSimp and Huke pushing out the spawn of the defensive side, finding all the kills in the feed. They're able to take this A point and now have a 2 live advantage. If you're Ultra, you have to get up to P5, and this is going to be a huge gunfight coming in from Gunless and CleanX. Gunless is actually able to win it. This could be the opening for the LAG.
Big moment right now from the Guerrillas. Not only does Gunless find one, Huke does as well. Insight with no information toward the backside of church, but no information very well could be information in general. A huge fight takes place inside of the point, favoring Toronto for now. The Gunless still alive, and take a look at the bottom right. He's on a 4 spree. How big streaks could be if he's able to at least tab on 2 more. Great situation right now for the Guerrillas. We'll see if they can seize that opportunity as they'll look for information now coming in toward the patio. Gunless does get dropped. A huge fight and some well-timed shots coming in from Insight from Rage. A 3v2 trade. Once again favoring Toronto. 40 seconds on the clock. 1, maybe 2 more good pushes at this for the Guerrillas as Toronto look to try to push out the middle side of the map. And here we go. What could be the final play of the game for the Guerrillas, Jay?
Yeah, that first push from LAG, they basically all flooded out from this room right here. And Toronto, they were just set up for it perfectly. Now they're able to finally get into the point. You have 2 players who push out a spawn. Unfortunately, Gunless gets a team kill onto Huke with that stun grenade. They are winning the majority of these fights, though. Now LAG, they're able to get on a point, up 4 lives.
Take a look at this flank. It's going to be close. Player 2, player number 8. Gunless gets found out, so it'll be CleanX on the flank. Slasher, the last man alive inside of this B zone. We'll see what he can do. Stopping the clock at 13 seconds. Has to dip out for now. None of his teammates can really even join alongside of him. Look to try to tag in a few of his partners from the Guerrillas. Clock stopped at 6. aSimp doing all the work that he can. It's a 4v5 in terms of lives, but can anybody from LAG get there? It appears as if that will not be the case. Toronto will escape by the skin of their teeth. I mean, just moments away from what could have been a 3-0 win in the control. LAG fight back. We see the round 5. But Toronto will keep it. Toronto will escape. And it's not going to be a 3-0 in the control, but at the very least, it is, Jay, a 3-0 in the series.
And that's just great work from the Ultra. Great response after taking such a tough loss versus Seattle in a Game 5 last week to come out in here and get a statement win versus LAG, who were looking great. Every single one of those maps were really close. First map almost came down to time. Second map was a 6-4 search and destroy. And then towards the very end right there, we thought Ultra were going to walk away with it, but LAG, they were able to fight back the same way that they were able to do at the Kickoff Classic. Unfortunately, this time around, they do not walk away with the win. So Ultra in a clean 3-0. Great performance from the entire team. You saw Bance. He was the guy that really stepped up for me in this series because on that first map, he started off slow, but when Bance stepped up and went on that 5 spree, that gave them that little spark to eventually get back into the game. Now in the search and destroy, it was just Bance and CleanX. Even though Huke was able to drop 15 kills, those playmakers were able to make plays or make the greater plays to close out that map. And then even though these final seconds here, Cammy, he almost goes insane for the clutch. doesn't get it done. But even towards those final rounds, you saw LAG, their pushes were not great. Like, they were able to go in towards bottom church. They all flooded out of that one room. And Toronto, they were just basically set up for it. Now with about 30 seconds left, you have one stagnant push. And when Cammy was able to find 3 in the feed, or eventually every single player from the Ultra find that one and take control of Plat, that's exactly how Ultra wanted to get the job done in a clean 3-0.
Yeah, as you said, partner, I mean, a crazy control game. I know we got to see it there from Asim's perspective. I mean, if he doesn't get that information, if he doesn't check his right, I mean, what if that player from Toronto just makes a little bit farther up the ladder? It could have been done and dusted early. It makes you wonder about those streaks, right? I mean, what if Cammy holds on to it? He decides to rock it. I mean, the same thing for Gunless in this final team push. If he's able to earn those streaks, how differently this final round could have gone if you got a strafe, specifically if you've got that glide bomb. But a back and forth game. But really, as you said, man, a statement win for Toronto. We talked about it coming into this series. They've struggled mightily in those game ones. They've been 50-50 in the game twos. They've turned it up when it comes down to the controls. But this series, a totally different story as they clutch up big. Really, in all of these games, a back and forth bocage, a search and destroy of which they were up, but they're able to close it out. And the same thing can be said for this Tuscan control as well. Up 2-0, goes to a round 5, but they're able to hang on. And they will actually claim their very first official win here in the CDL 2022 season off of that Game 5 Round 11 loss versus Seattle at opening weekend. But a crazy series. Desk, we're going to bring you guys back into it. I mean, it felt like at different times LAG showed us something special, but ultimately it was Ultra walking away with a 3-0, Veli.
My man's Lando, listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how close the games are, right? If you don't get that W on the stat line, it really doesn't matter. And Toronto Ultra, especially from that loss against Seattle, they took off. Big 3-0 victory from them. Thanks for the commentary, by the way. I'll see you guys in a minute. But here on the desk, I mean, Nameless, aLLeY, this has been phenomenal. Nameless, actually, you watching the game in the green room, you even told me, Veli, there were some nasty things I saw from Toronto.
Oh, man.
What did you see?
I was impressed by so much in this series on the Toronto side of things. I mean, one, that listening was just immaculate. We talk about their communication. They're cool, calm, and collected. You think about that search and destroy. Now, I have the observer feed so I can see everybody's screen. So I'm sitting there just looking through Toronto, trying to see, like, what's their plan? What are they doing? They had this crazy strat where they have Insight and Cammy both have a nade spot that lands right on the bomb, and they time it where they nade it at the exact same time, and it's so beautiful. There was one of the rounds where they injured him, they killed him off bomb, and then the next one they actually killed him with the double nades on the bomb. So things like that are just next level to me. And then map 1, not to go on a rant, but when they give up Barn, they give up 60 seconds on Barn, but then they just get 60 right after it on the trench hill. Like, these guys, they're so sound as a team, and they've gotten so much better even since their last loss this season.
Now, I'm going to talk about that trench hill. Look, I got excited for a second. Bance went absolutely insane. Steady was talking about it, right? When Bance went on that little 5-to-kill spree over at P5, he tore everybody up on the side of LAG, and that actually caused Toronto Ultra to go up in so much time when it came to that hard point. But aLLeY, the thing was, they had trouble going against LAG. LAG was fragging out, starting off really heavy when it came to hard point. But why couldn't LAG plot the wins?
Well, actually, in that bocage, LAG was outslaying Toronto heavily. I believe Kyler was like 33 and something at some point.
Gunless was frying too.
And Gunless, of course, frying as always. And all of these players individually are so incredibly talented mechanically. But it just, now you have to beg the question, is it a decision-making issue that's going on with this team? Because it's not like none of them are shooting back. They are all frying in their own respective regions, but they're late on rotation. It seems like the communication at S&D gets a little wild sometimes. And you got to beg the question, who's the IJL? Who's the one kind of guiding them through this series?
Yeah, they could get kills, but listen, they have to close out these close rounds. LAG, though, I will say this, they have been looking better, but let's forget about that. Let's go ahead and jump into the Game Field Spotlight post-game interview with my man's Insight. Flex on him, baby. I have to ask you, losing against Seattle Surge last week couldn't have been, it didn't feel good to you guys. I know it didn't. Heading into today's game, what was the mindset like? What did you guys really want to fix compared to last time you were on screen?
Oh, well, hey, everyone. The big thing for us is obviously came down to a 5-5 S&D. I feel like last year that was one of our strong suits in game. So going into this year, we've definitely after the Seattle loss, we're trying to look at S&D a lot more. I mean, if you saw the Tuscan nades, it's just diving in a little bit to what we're working on in the lab. But yeah, it's mainly S&D for us.
Got to be careful. We're going to start figuring out your strats and breaking them down on the desk. Insight, I got to ask you guys, you were so strong and dominant at all 3 game modes. So there isn't really one that you guys are struggling on. So when it comes to scrims, are you guys just focused at winning at this point, polishing what you're working on? Or are you continuously trying to work towards, okay, well, what can we get more concise and more better about? What other plays can we throw at these other teams that maybe they're just not expecting?
Yeah, so we're definitely like a very sound team. We've been together a long time, been through the highs and lows. But obviously every day we're always trying to work on little things that can make us better. There's always certain hills that we can like improve on and be better as a team. So every day going to scrims, it's always trying to just like get better and better, push ourselves to be the best team we can be. Because obviously we want to be the best this year.
Insight, I got to talk about the round of control where Cammy tried to go rogue and clutch up. Honestly, rate that play, but you were dead during that round, right? So were you on board with him investing the streak and trying to clutch up in that round, or were you like, I don't know about this one?
I mean, in my head, I was definitely a bit like, you know, I don't know, we could save it, but, you know, Cam was doing Cam things. He was feeling himself. He was like, no, we're clutching this. We're clutching this. And well, he didn't clutch it, so there's a streak gone down the drain, but you know, Cam's just one of them. You got to let him fly, let him do his thing. And, I mean, almost worked.
It almost did.
It almost worked. Yo, my man's Insight. I believe, last week, I believe it was Guest One that we interviewed, and he was talking about how the EU boys are going to step up big time this year. This is going to be an EU beans and toast takeover. For the fans out there that are rooting for Toronto Ultra, you guys were great last year, but I'm pretty sure you guys are trying to be better this year. What are the ultimate goals for you and your team?
Obviously, we just want to pick up where we left off last year. Obviously, coming second at Champs, that hurt. We want to push for that championship. We want to be the world champions. We want to be the best throughout the year. We want people to look back at this year and say, wow, Toronto were just so dominant.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much, man. Can't wait to see you back for another interview. And you have a good night, all right? Catch you next time.
Have a great day, guys.
No problem. Thank you so much, Insight. I will say this, being new to the CDL and talking to these players for the first time is actually pretty cool. Like, Insight's a chill guy. But ladies and gentlemen, we have another great series to close out the day. You guys already know what the deal is. The game field marquee matchup between the new-look New York Subliners with Royalty replacing Neptune. They're going to be facing off against a team that isn't going to just, let them walk through them. It's going to be the LA Thieves. We'll see you guys on the other side of break.